I will y'all intro, but it's not needed. I was just here. You just looked at me. I was like, you was looking at me already. You was ready for me to come back. I'm ready. I'm back. Do I need an intro? I cut my head off. My bad. Now, this last video, I want to have, I'm going to be like other YouTubers. It is going to be pre-recorded. So, if this next video that pop up, I got a red shirt on, like I can get on yesterday, just know, that's because this video that you're going to be watching, not this video, because this is not pre-recorded. Not this one right here. But the video after this video, that one is pre-recorded. Like, I recorded that yesterday. And I wasn't going to put it on YouTube because, like I said, it was supposed to be my insurance policy. I didn't go look and see what if Facebook was on some bullshit with me. Shoulda. Most surely shoulda. Because if I seen they was on that bullshit with me, then I would have posted the second video. But since I didn't see they was on bullshit with me, I didn't post that same video. But since they wouldn't be bullshit with me today, for yesterday, I'm going to just go ahead and post that video. But don't worry. I'm just letting you know ahead of time that video is pre-recorded. You didn't ask me if that video was pre-recorded. You probably wouldn't even known that video was pre-recorded. But, you know, because one thing I didn't want to do is do things that you don't ask for. Twins, would you do the things we ask for? Let's not make this a messy relationship. Yeah, like what? Yeah, let's not make this a messy relationship. Things was about to start getting messy. You was asking to me questions because we not even gonna get started. But anyway, we is on chapter 2 of Left Behind. Oh, y'all think, or should that be my next video? I ain't been complaining about this YouTube. Nah, y'all just pre-recorded shit. I was about to say it depends on how long the chapter is. If this chapter don't cover this whole thing, then I might be over here. Carmen Williams had roused when the old woman directly in front of him called out to the pilot. The pilot had shushed her, causing her to peek back at Buck. He dragged his fingers through his longish blonde hair and forced a groggy smile. "Trouble, ma'am?" "It's my Harold," she said. Buck had helped the old man put his herringbone wool jacket and felt hat in the overhead bin when they boarded. Harold was a short, damper gentleman in penny loafers, brown slacks, and a tan sweater vest over a shirt and tie. He was balding, and Buck assumed he would want the hat again later when the air conditioning kicked in. "Does he need something?" "He's gone." "I'm sorry." "He disappeared." "Well, I'm sure he slipped off to the washroom while you were sleeping." "Would you mind checking for me? And take a blanket." "Ma'am, I'm afraid he's going off naked. He's a religious person, and he'd be terribly embarrassed." Buck suppressed a smile when he noticed the woman's pained expression. He climbed over the sleeping executive on the aisle, who had far exceeded his limit of free drinks, and leaned in to take a blanket from the old woman. Indeed, Harold's clothes were in a neat pile on his seat, his glasses and hearing aid on top. He ain't in the bathroom, my man. He's not in the bathroom. You just said his glasses and hearing aid. How he gonna go to the bathroom without either one of those? He not in the bathroom. And if I don't know if y'all need me to do a little background on the last chapter, but remember, right now we following two different people. One of them is a writer, and the other one is the pilot of the plane. The pilot of the plane know what's popping off. The writer, this is who we looking at now. He don't know what's going on. The writer of the plane know that everybody has been taken up to heaven. Let's see if he knows what's going on. He remembered. Harris clothes with a neat pile on his seat, his glasses and hearing aid on top. The pants leg still hung over the edge and led to his shoes and socks. Bizarre, Buck thought. Why so fatnistics? He remembered the friend in high school who had a form of epilepsy that occasionally caused him to black out when he seemed perfectly conscious. He might remove his shoes and socks in public, or come out of a washroom with his clothes open. Does your husband have a history of epilepsy? No. Sleepwalking? No. I'll be right back. The first-class lavas were unoccupied, but as Buck headed for the stairs, he found several other passengers in the aisle. "Excuse me," he said. "I'm looking for someone." "Who isn't?" a woman said. Buck pushed his way past several people and found lines to the washroom and business in the economy. The pilot brushed past him without a word, and Buck was soon met by the senior flight attendant. "Sir, I need to ask you to return to your seat and fasten your belt. I'm looking for—" "Everyone is looking for someone," she said. "We hope to have some information for you in a few minutes. Now, please." She steered him back toward the stairs, then slipped past him and took the steps 2 at a time. I'm just glad she able to hold it together now, because if y'all remember in that first chapter, she was a hot wreck. She was crying. Every time somebody approached her, she just started screaming. Oh my God, what are we going to do? That's what she was. That's how the fuck she was acting in the first chapter, if y'all don't remember. Halfway up the steps, Buck turned and surveyed the scene. It was the middle of the night, for heaven's sake. And as the cabin lights came on, he shuddered. All over the plane, people were holding up clothes and gasping or shrinking that someone was missing. Somehow he knew this was no dream, and he felt the same terror he had endured awaiting his death in Israel. What was he going to tell Harold's wife? "You're not the only one. Lots of people left their clothes in their seat." As he hurried back to his seat, his mind searched his memory banks for anything he had ever read, seen, or heard of any technology that could remove people from their clothes and make them disappear from a decidedly secure environment. Whoever did this, were they on the plane? Would they make demands? Would another wave of disappearance be next? Would he become a victim? Where would he find himself? Fear seemed to pervade the cabin as he climbed over his sleepmate again. He stood and leaned over the back of the chair ahead of him. "Apparently, many people are missing," he told the old woman. She looked as puzzled and fearful as Buck himself felt. He sat down as the intercom came on and the captain addressed the passengers. After instructing them to return to their assigned seats, the captain explained, "I'm going to ask the flight attendants to check the lavatories and be sure everyone is accounted for. Then I'll ask them to pass out foreign entry cards. If anyone in your party is missing, I would like you to fill out the card and his or her name and list every shred of detail you can think of, from date of birth to description. I'm sure you all recognize that we have a very troubling situation. The cards will give us account of those missing, and I'll have something to give authorities. My first officer, Mr. Smith, will now make a courtesy count of empty seats. I will try to conduct confidential. I must tell you, however, that our location makes it extremely difficult to communicate with the ground without long delays. I will try to raise them on a satellite phone. As soon as I know anything, I'll convey it to you. In the meantime, I appreciate your cooperation and calm." Buck watched as the first officer came rushing from the cockpit, hatless and flushed. He hurried down one aisle and up the other, eyes darting from seat to seat as the flight attendant passed out cards. Buck's seatmate roused, drooling, when the attendant asked if anyone in his party was missing. "Missing? No. And there's no one in this party but me." He crawled up again and went back to sleep unaware. That's a sin for you. He don't even know what's going on. I highly doubt that Rayford is going to be able to get a hold of anybody, because now I'm remembering the captain name. It's Rayford. We got Rayford and we got Carmen. That is our 2 main characters so far right now. And I don't mean to be rude, but I don't think that Rayford is going to be able to get into touch with anybody. Because if it's people disappearing on the plane, just think about how Earth is popping off right now. I'm just saying, if this is what's going on the plane, you know shit on ground level is not looking pretty. People disappearing out of cars, moving. People disappearing out of planes, moving. I'm just thinking about all the accidents just done popped off, because this can't be the only place people done disappeared from. The first officer had been gone only a few minutes when Rayford heard his keys in the cockpit door and it banged open. Christopher flopped onto his chair, ignored the seatbelt, and sat with his head in his hands. "What's going on, Ray?" he said. We got more than 100 people gone with nothing but their clothes left behind. That many? Yeah. Like, it'd be better if it was only 50. How the heck are we going to explain landing with less passengers than we took off with? Rayford shook his head, still working with the radio, trying to reach someone, anyone in Greenland, or an island in the middle of nowhere. But they were too remote, even to pick up a radio station for news. Finally, he connected with Condra several miles away from heading the other direction. He nodded to Christopher to put on his earphones. You got enough fuel to get you back to the States, over? The pilot asked Rayford. He looked at Christopher, who nodded and whispered, we're halfway. I can make it to Kennedy, Rayford said. Forget it, Ken replied. Nothing's landing in New York. 2 runways still open in Chicago. That's where we're going. We came from Chicago. Can't I put down that health roll? Negative, close. Paris. Man, you got to get back where you came from. We left Paris an hour ago. Got the word what's happening, and we're told to go straight to Chicago. What's happening, Conrad? If you don't know, why don't you put out the Mayday? At this point, I'm ready to turn the fuck up. I'm asking questions because I clearly don't know what the fuck is going on my plane. So I need to know. At least somebody know what the fuck is going on the ground. Don't be coming at me sideways. There's so much shit going on for you to be coming at me like this. My nigga. What the fuck is going on down there? I clearly don't know what the fuck going on up here. I got a situation here I don't even want to talk about. Hey, friend, it's all over the world, you know? Negative, I don't know. Talk to me. You missing passengers, right? Roger, more than 100. Whoa, we lost nearly 50. What do you make of it, Conrad? First off, I thought it was spontaneous combustion. But there would have been more smoke residue. These people mysteriously disappeared. Only thing I compared it to is an old Star Trek show where people get demilitarized and remilitarized, beamed all over the place. I sure wish I could tell my people their loved ones were going to repair just as quickly and completely as they disappeared, Rayford said. That's not the worst of it. Pan heavy, people everywhere have disappeared. Early lost air traffic controllers and ground controllers. Some planes have lost flight crews. Where it's daylight, there are car pileups, chaos everywhere, planes down all over and at every major airport. So this was a spontaneous thing. Everywhere at once, just like a little more than an hour ago. I was almost hoping there was something on this plane. Some gas, some malfunction. That was selective, you mean? Over. Rayford caught the sarcasm. I swear I know. It's some shit popping off. But the fact that this motherfucker on his phone is giving me so much fucking sarcasm that I'm not fucking asking for, that made me turn up. I'm sorry, y'all. That made me turn up. All this fucking sarcasm. I didn't ask for this shit. I don't know what the fuck. I'm already confused. I'm already fucking lost. I don't need you with all this fucking sarcasm. I need you to cut that shit out now. I see what you mean, Conrad. Gotta admit, this is somewhere we've never been before. And we never want to be again. I keep telling myself it's a bad dream. A nightmare? Over. Roger. But it's not, is it? What are we going to tell your passengers, Conrad? No clue. You? Over. The truth. Can't hurt now. But what's the truth? What do we know? Not a blessed thing. Good choice of words, Pan Heavy. You know what other people are saying? Over. Roger. Rayford said, better people going to heaven than some word power doing this with fancy rays. Word. We get it that every country has been infected. See you in Chicago. Roger. Rayford stilly looked at Christopher, who had been changing the settings to turn the monstrous wide body around and get it headed back toward the States. Ladies and gentlemen, Rayford said over the intercom, we're not going to be able to land in Europe. We're headed back to Chicago. We're almost exactly halfway to our original destination, so we will not have a fuel problem. I hope this puts your minds at ease somewhat. I will let you know when we are close enough to begin using our cell phones. Until I do, you will do yourself a favor by not trying. What the fuck do you mean? What the fuck do you mean? I hope this puts your mind at ease. Nigga, there are people that people disappeared on the plane. Now I'm passionate at this point. People disappeared on the fucking plane. As soon as he said, I hope this puts your mind at ease, I've been looking around like, should I go up there and cut this motherfucker, this captain out? Because I don't know what the fuck he think is going on. Because I don't know what the fuck is going on, and I need fucking answers. What the fuck is the people on the fucking plane? Is you telling me that it happens you're not giving me answers. I'm lost, I'm confused, I don't know. Am I finna disappear? Am I finna die? Why are we going back to Chicago? Why aren't we going to Europe? I got questions. I'm getting hyperventilating, having a panic attack. I don't know. But just know your girl not gonna be, is this what's really happening? Your girl not straight up panic attack. What? He said we going back to Chicago. Why? Why don't we letting you? Oh my God. Do we? He said we got enough fuel, so we should be making it back to Chicago. Oh my God, what's going on? I don't know. When the captain had come back on the intercom with the information about returning to the United States, Buck Williams was surprised to hear applause throughout the cabin. Shocked and terrified as everyone most was from the States and wanted at least to return to familiarity to sort this thing out. Buck nudged the Benjamin on his right. I'm sorry, friend, but you're going to want to be awake for this. The man peered at Buck with a disgusted look and slurred, if we not crashing, don't bother me. Later, when Captain Rayford Steele was finally able to take a minute from flying tasks, he used a satellite phone to dial an all-news radio outlet and learned the far-reaching effects of the disappearance of people from every continent. Communication lines were jammed. Medical, technical, and service people were among the missing all over the world. Every civil service agency was on full emergency status, trying to handle the unending tragedies. Rayford had covered terrorist attacks and was reminded how the hospitals and fire and the police units brought everyone in to work. He could imagine it now, multiplied thousands of times. Even the newscaster's voice was terror-filled, as much as they tried to mask it. Every conceivable explanation was offered, but overshadowed with such discussion and even coverage of a carnage with the practical aspects. What people wanted from the news was simple information on how to get where they were going and how to contact their loved ones to determine if they were still around. Rayford was instructed to get a multi-taste traffic pattern that would allow him to land at O'Hare at a precise moment. Only 2 runways were open, and every large plane in the country seemed headed that way. Thousands were dead in plane crash and car pileups. Emergency crews were trying to clear expressways and runways, all the while grieving over loved ones and co-workers who had disappeared. One report said that so many cabbies had disappeared from the cab car at O'Hare that volunteers were being brought in to move the cars that had been left running with the former driver's clothes still on the seats. But am I going to want to drive? Am I going to want to hop in this car knowing that the driver disappeared? I don't know. I guess so. Cars driven by people who spontaneously disappeared had caressed out of control. Of course, the toughest chore for emergency personnel was to determine who had disappeared, who had killed, and who was injured, and to communicate that to survivors. When Rayford was close enough to communicate to the towers of O'Hare, he asked if they would try to contact him by phone to his home. He was laughed off. Sorry, Captain, but phone lines are so jammed and phone personnel so spotty that the only hope is to get dial tone and use a phone with a redial button. Rayford filled the passengers in on the extent of the phenomenon and pleaded with them to remain calm. There's nothing we can do on this plane that will change the situation. My plan is to get you on the ground as quickly as possible in Chicago so you can have access to some answers, and I hope some help. Oh my goodness, I'm scared. The in-flight phone embedded in the back of the seat in front of Buck Williams was not assembled with its Turner Molar connections the way most phones were. Buck imagined the Pancor Airlines would soon be replacing these railers to avoid complaints from the computer users. But Buck guessed the inside of the phone, the connection was standard, and that if he could somehow get in there without damaging the phone, he could connect his computer's modem directly to the line. His own cell phone was not cooperating at this altitude. In front of him, Harold's wife rocked and whimpered, her face buried in her hands. The executive next to Buck snored. Before drinking himself into oblivion soon after takeoff, he had said something about a major meeting in Scotland. Would he be surprised by the view upon landing? All around Buck, people cried, prayed, and talked. Flight attendants offered snacks and drinks, but few accepted. Having preferred an aisle seat for a little more leg room, Buck was now glad he was particularly hidden near the window. He removed his computer bag, a tiny toolkit he had never expected to use, and went to work on the phone. Disappointed to find no modular connection even inside the housing, he decided to play amateur electrician. These phone lines always have the same color wires, he added. So he opened his computer and cut the wires leading to the female connector. Inside the phone, he cut the wire and sliced off to protect the rubber coating. Sure enough, the 4 inner wires from both computer and phone looked identical. In a few minutes, he had spliced them together. Buck tapped out a quick message to his executive director, Steve Plank, in New York, telling him of his destination. I will bang out all that I know, and I'm sure this will be just one of many similar stories. But at least this will be up to the minute as it happens. Whether it will be of any use, I don't know. The thought hits me, Steve, that you may be among the missing. How would I know? You know my computer address. Let me know you're still with us. Okay, don't get me wrong. Buck is a religious person, right? He believes in God, and he believes that when we die, we will go to heaven. But at the same time, Buck isn't really into that. So for what I'm learning from this is that your girl might not go to heaven. Because while I am a believer in God, in Christ, and I know that I will go to heaven, my belief system isn't as strong as it should be. Like this motherfucker be rocky and spotty. God already know. He don't know if I'm going to stay on the ship or not. He knows I'm here on the ship, but he doesn't know if I'm going to go stand at the wall and be on some, I believe in you, but yeah, that's it. I believe in you. I'm on the boat, standing in the corner, looking at the motherfucking wall, while everybody else in the back talking about God and all the things he's done for them. So, I'm going to be left behind. Ooh, I smacked the shit out of my leg. I'm sorry, y'all. He stored the note and set up his modern to send it to New York in the background while he was working on his own writing. At the top of the screen, a status bar flashed every 20 seconds, informing him the connection to his ramp on the information superhighway was busy. He kept working. The senior flight attendant startled him several pages into his own reflections and feelings. What in the world are you doing? She said, leaning in to stare at the mess of wires leading from his laptop to the in-flight phone. I can't let you do that. Okay, I'm gonna read to this point. He glanced at her name tag. Listen, beautiful Haiti, are we not looking at the end of the world as we know of it? Don't patronize me, sir. I can't let you sit here and vandalize airline property. I'm not vandalizing. I'm adapting it in an emergency. With this, I can hopefully make a connection where no one else will work. I can't let you do it. Haiti, can I tell you something? Only that you're going to put that sat phone back the way you found it. I will. Now, no, I won't do that. That's the only thing I want to hear. Well, that's not the only thing we finna fucking tell you. Okay, shorty? I understand that, but please listen. The man next to Buck stared at him and then at Haiti. He swore, then used a pillow to cover his right ear, pressing his left against the seat back. Haiti grabbed the computer printout from her pocket and located Buck's name. Mr. Williams, I expect you to cooperate. I don't want to bother the pilot with this. Buck reached for her hand. She stiffened, but didn't pull away. Can we talk for just a second? Damn. He didn't say damn. I did. I'm not going to change my mind, sir. Now, please, I have a plane full of frightened people. That's my whole fucking point. You got a plane full of frightened motherfucking people, and you over here bothering him. Why? Go put somebody mad at ease. Damn. Aren't you one of them? He said, still holding her hand. She pursed her lips and nodded. Wouldn't you like to make contact with someone? If this works, I can reach people who can make phone calls for you. Let your family know you're all right. Even get a message back to you. I haven't destroyed anything, and I promise I can put it back the way I found it. You can? I can. And you'll help me? Anything. Give me some names and phone numbers. I'll send them in with what I'm trying to upload to New York. And I'll insist that someone make the calls for you and report back to me. I can't guarantee I'll get through or that if I do, they'll get back to me. But I will try. I'll be grateful. And you can protect me from other overly zealous flight attendants. Haiti managed to smile. They might all want your help. This is a long shot as it is. Just keep everybody away from me and let me keep trying. Deal, she said, but she looked troubled. Haiti, you're doing the right thing. He said, it's okay in a situation like this to think of yourself a little. That's what I'm doing. But everyone's in the same boat, sir, and I have responsibilities. You have to admit, when people disappear, some rules go out the window. That's true. Like, okay, y'all. So what's about to happen? Let me break it down to y'all. I wanted to give y'all this pre-recorded video. Tweets, why did you want to get this? Why the fuck did you want to give us a pre-recorded video? Man, I ain't about the fucking business. I wanted to give y'all something pre-recorded. That's what the fuck was happening. But I can't, because at the same time, I don't want this video to go over 27 minutes. So, in order for that video to not go over 27 minutes, hold on, let me see. How many pages I got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I got too many pages left, y'all. I'm sorry. I got too many pages. Don't worry. I'm gonna post this, so don't worry. This is what's gonna happen. Let me tell y'all what's gonna happen. So y'all be up in this plan, because y'all might not even still be here. But if y'all is, let me explain to y'all what's gonna happen. This next video that I post will be the rest of this chapter. Then the video that I post after this video. So this video will be 68. And the video that I post after this will be 68.2. And then the video that I post after that video, because I'm going to have to post a video after this video, after that video, then I make after this video. So at 9 o'clock tonight. So technically, y'all get 4 videos today. It's not even y'all fault. Y'all, the system is like, dang, Sequise, you overloading us. But then again, I need the system to put me back on track. So there will be another video to get loaded right after this video. And then after that, before 12 o'clock tonight, there will be, before 12 o'clock tonight, that last video with me wearing a red shirt will get uploaded. So don't think that I forgot about you. And I don't even remember what the fuck I even talked about in that fucking red video. But just know I did my work, and I probably did some kid shit. So that video that I'm posting up tonight, it's gonna be kid marked all the way through. Remember that shit. And no, don't remember that shit. Where the fuck you going? Shut up, sit down. Wait for my next video to come the fuck out. Shut up, sit down. That's what the fuck you need to do right now. You need to be waiting. You need to be in my fucking comment section, letting me know how the fuck you feel and what the fuck you think while you waiting for me for this next video. Got it? All right, capiche. We on the same page? All right, no? Okay, shut the fuck up. Put it in the comments. Damn.